and you're gonna just sell them to Paramount, who did such amazing films like most of the Transformers movies and Battleship, and so
I've never had you on the Jammers had you on my show, but I don't think I've ever had you on my show.
Nope, actually, yeah, I've been on with Jammer a few times, but that's about it.
Yeah, you guys did it from San Diego a few days ago, what seems like forever ago, but
oh, Jesus, yeah.
On that note, good morning, everybody. Welcome to LR Mornings on this wonderful what is today? Thursday morning.
Thursday.
Today with Kyle and
Manny
and Voltron. Apparently, I forgot to turn down my phone like a professional is supposed to do. Manny, what's up, man? How you doing?
Pretty good. I'm more of a Megazord guy, but Voltron's cool too.
Oh, I got this really neat idea. I don't know if you can see my Planet Eris poster right there.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. I want to take that kind of Voltron coat of arms idea, but I want to how they got the crossed blazing swords. I'd rather do a blazing sword and a mega sword, and then with the cross that's in Voltron's coat of arms, put the Power Rangers lightning bolt instead. How about that shit for a tattoo?
Yeah, that would be dope. It's two good franchises.
I'm a pretty big fan of both. So man, I hate to tell you this, but you kind of walked into a minefield.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Did you hear that we've got a new Barside Buzz that's supposed to be hitting LRM sometime soon, if not already, about Spider-Man?
I think I just looked at it a few minutes ago.
Yeah. Apparently, in secret, according to let's see, Diz Insider's host Skylar Schuer and Derek Cornell said that they cannot confirm, but they have heard that an extended Spider-Man deal with Sony is happening. They basically because of all of the integration stuff in Spider-Man 3. Do you believe in the possibility of this deal, or do you think it's complete bullshit?
Nah, completely believe in it. I think that Disney has invested way too much in Spider-Man already. We also know that they've spent quite a bit on featuring him at the two parks. So there's nothing for me to say that they wouldn't want to make sure to secure Spider-Man for the long-term future, especially if Sony's trying to do all these other crazy ideas over there that may or may not work.
You mean like Madam Web, or that back when Garfield was still Spidey, the Aunt May spy movie?
Yeah. There's because they only have so many things to work with, so they're gonna throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. Madam Web was always, to me, an interesting character in the Amazing Spider-Man cartoon series.
Yes, and comics.
Yeah, actually, well, I haven't read too.
Okay.
I stick so much to DC when it comes to and other independent books that it's hard for me to go back and read some of those classic ones. I've read like Secret Wars and like all that the basic stuff. Invasion, but so I don't know, man. They're trying. They're just trying to be part of this big old superhero world.
Well, I don't know how much of my crazy theories you've heard, but back in 2018 when Venom first hit and did so well worldwide, I make a joke often. I say, look, and I have to say allegedly for legal reasons, but allegedly China does a lot of really messed up the the government does a lot of messed up human rights things, right? Allegedly. But the people, they're the people for the most part. They're innocent. However, I put every ounce of blame in Sony thinking that they can make good movies on the Chinese people for Venom.
It's also the reason why we still have Fast and the Furious movies
and Transformers
movies. So,
but I look so when the last year at D23, last year, I honestly believe that Disney or Sony went into the meeting with no faith. Like they wanted their ball and go home with it. And there were two lines that made me want to say that from two different people. One, I think it's an Italian name. He's a Sony exec. He used to be at Fox. He said something along the lines that they've got Feige's playbook, like they've been paying attention. They know what they're doing. And there was another exec that said something along the lines of it wasn't just Marvel's movies. We were there too, basically, right? And when those two things were said, that's what tipped me to the whole take the ball and go home, and that they had no good faith. However, over time, and especially as Spider-Man 3 rumors come out, there was one room. I don't even know who started it because I didn't expect to talk about. I've got a rule. I try to avoid Spider-Man until we have more concrete information. But there was this rumor a long time ago that Sony actually wanted to try to leverage Spidey to get more access to the MCU. Do you think that's what has actually finally happened, and we're going to see whether there's still a universe barrier that can be crossed, or do you think we're going to see like a melding of the SUMC and the MCU?
No, I think probably they'll get more access to some things. I don't think Feige or Disney want anything to do with whatever type of stories that they have going on over there. Because I mean, if you look at both companies, one has a really linear and very neat lineage of TV shows and movies now. I mean, they cut ties with everything that was not MCU. Everything that they were doing at Hulu, everything ABC and things like that.
Yeah, the Jeff Loeb era of Marvel TV is done. It's all under Feige now,
which I liked a lot of it. So
okay,
I know that Mike Colter came out saying that they haven't reached out to him yet about reprising his role as Luke Cage.
Are you reading my notes, Manny?
No. I'm actually Luke Cage is might be my number one or number two Marvel show. I love that show. I thought it was
season 2 was beautiful, man. Anyways, continue.
Yeah. So and then if you look over at Sony and what they're doing, and they're trying to bring back anyone who was ever in a Marvel movie. I'm sorry, in their Spider-Man movies. Because God, I remember sitting there watching Venom and turning to the person next to me, and we both looked at it and went, "What the heck? This is not Venom.
This is so bad."
and then I mean, I love Tom Hardy as an actor, but man, he couldn't buy himself an accent in that film.
No. And I've heard some really bad accents. Speaking of Tom Hardy, please tell me you watch Venture Brothers.
Oof, no, I can't.
Oh man. Okay. So yourself and all the fans out there, do yourself a favor, look up a clip of Bane, not right now, Manny, but any clip of Bane, and then type in Dr. Dugong Venture Bros and tell me if that's not the exact voice that Bane used for or that Tom Hardy used for Bane. It's a ridiculously funny, over the top cartoon, but Dr. Dugong, 100% Bane. I'm now really confused. We did get one piece of information that I was seeking, which was what will be the crossover movie for Spidey, because the 2019 deal was one solo film and one crossover film, and now we're being led to believe that the crossover film is Doc Strange into the Multiverse of Madness. Whether or not that'll just be at this crazy theory that Sony is still taking their ball and going home, and that what we'll see in Doc Strange is multiverse stuff, maybe past stuff. But I would say right now, I used to be like 75-25 Sony, take their ball and go home. That's what they wanted to do, even though Jammer and I did all, well, he did all the math with a spreadsheet and everything. Like, we even figured out that Sony would have to make 20 movies of Venom. I don't want to say caliber because it wasn't good, but Venom grossing like that type of money, like 800 to $1 billion. They would have to make like 20 of those films to profit off of Spider-Man in the same way as if Disney just said, hey, here's $5 billion for all of Spider-Man back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's insane. Like, think about that. And I know Sony, I always pick on Sony. Everybody says they don't have franchises and they don't have a lot, but instead of risking making bad movies and losing money, more Morbius, it might be good, maybe, I don't know. But a $5 billion injection allows you to either A, purchase new IP, or B, create new IP. What do you think about that? I know Sony will never sell, but as a business person, that makes more sense to me.
It's tough because they just sold one of their other IPs over to Paramount, which was a lot of the Valiant characters that they were carrying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and that I thought had a rich potential to.
Did you like Bloodshot?
Kind of. I feel bad because I know a lot of some of the people that worked on that
film. Okay,
so, but
I won't press you, but yeah, they sold.
But I really thought that was going to be the beginning of something bigger.
Yeah.
I'm a really big fan of the Valiant brand and the characters. Specifically what they did from 2012 to when they sold, because once they sold and everybody left, it went back to not being very good. But those that one decade was about it. Yeah, no, well, it can't be a decade because that's next year. So those like 5-6 years with Dinesh Amdasadi and Warren Simmons and all those guys over there. They did such a great job at reintroducing that entire universe. So Bloodshot, where you have Harbinger, you have Faith, you have Shadow Man, and so many other great characters that are fantastic. I mean, at one point, I know for a fact that they were working with the Russo brothers to bring Quantum and Woody to television.
Ooh.
Oh, and then when that whole Cell thing happened, the new people dropped the ball, and they're still to this day they're still working on it. I remember I was at WonderCon, and I was speaking with Dinesh, and he goes, "Hey man, you know what? We'll catch up later. I actually got to get on the plane right now, heading over to the Avengers, where they're filming in Atlanta at the time." He goes, and we're gonna talk some Quantum and Woody, and I was like, "Oh, this is fantastic!" There was so much excitement back then about everything they were doing, because they were doing everything correctly, and so Sony had this rich opportunity to keep these characters. First thing they do is they sell Harbinger, and I was like, "What? That's like another version of the X-Men." They have such an interesting and one of my favorite villains, and you can argue he's not a villain, Toyo Harada. and you're gonna just sell them to Paramount, who did such amazing films like, you know, most of the Transformers movies and
Mm-hmm.
Battleship, and so I mean they have a lot of old school, you know, property.
Yeah, yeah.
So
They
it's
they gave us Top Gun, didn't they?
I love the original Top Gun.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so not.
Feeling the second one.
Well, let's see what happens. So, but yeah, it's so hard to you know, get a franchise. But you know who's bringing back their characters, who I honestly I had no idea they even had superheroes. Archie Comics is relaunching their superheroes with Rob Liefeld.
Yes, Rob Liefeld.
So
What are they called again?
the Mighty Crusaders.
That's right, right. Crusade. Is that gonna work in 2021? I don't know.
I'm not sure, but the fact that Rob Liefeld's working
yeah,
with them and what he recently did with Snake Eyes,
yeah, it
and
sounds kind of cool.
Well,
One of the I'm one of those types that I can be really blunt and sarcastic and stuff like that. So I like Liefeld. When he stops giving a fuck, he lets you know real fast.
yeah.
And I got respect for that, because one thing there's one thing I love in my life, and that's consistency. You can be consistently on the opposite side of me on everything, and we can still be friends as long as you're consistent. Hypocrisy, though, that drives me nuts. So I like Liefeld, and I'm actually kind of interested to see see what he does with that. But I do want to go back to when you read my notes about Luke Cage, because that was kind of depressing news, and it was going to be the main topic for today, was the other Netflix characters. Let me preface by saying the rumor about Charlie Cox, Spider-Man 3. Are you down with Charlie Cox coming over and being in that movie?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think he's going to be the representation for Peter, or do you think we're going to see some Daredevil action?
I think we'll probably see a little bit of both, and we'll see them separately.
Cool.
And then what'll happen is Peter will kind of sense later in the courtroom that wait a minute, this is but he won't necessarily make the connection because he won't understand that he's blind at first. But I'm going to be real. The one thing I really want Charlie Cox in the MCU, especially the Disney TV series, Marvel TV series, is to see him go against She-Hulk in the courtroom.
Oh, that would be
that's
interesting. Some for like some, because they both are defense attorneys, right? Yeah, they're both defense attorneys. He caters to the needy, doing a lot of pro bono, while she caters to soups. So, but some sort of weird case putting them against each other would be cool.
Because I know that her series is supposed to have a bunch of cameos and things like that. So even if it's not for very long, just I want to see her, sitting there waiting to see who the mystery defense attorney is or prosecutor. Walks in. I would like, that's it. Take my money. This is what I want.
I mean, I would even just laugh about Murdoch coming out of one trial and bumping into her and just being like in shock, like, oh my god, there's giant green fucking lady, because he'll be able to sense who it is and stuff. Like, but them facing off against each other could be interesting. Brian, my buddy Brian, that co-hosts a show with me sometimes, huge She-Hulk fan from a few years ago, and he's really hoping for a courtroom procedural. And I know I keep wanting to get to Luke Cage, and we will, but what type of She-Hulk show would you like to see? More courtroom stuff? Because we've we've heard Abomination's going to be in there. We've heard rumors about Red Hulk. Like, how much courtroom can we fit if we're going to put those guys in, you know?
Right. Well, I mean, it's a good balance, but I definitely want more courtroom than I got in Daredevil.
Yeah.
I wanted more of that courtroom also in Daredevil, and I didn't necessarily get it. I mean, there was even some points where Foggy was in the courtroom and he wasn't, because obviously he was hurt, or he was busy doing the whole Daredevil thing, and I was just as disappointed in him as Foggy was. So
Yeah.
that was, I like that. So I do hope we get to see it, because yeah, sure, she's strong and she can she's a
Yeah.
She-Hulk, but let's see what kind of powers she has on a human level, as far
Yeah.
as as a defense attorney.
To help out
I think that would,
her
yeah, it
her
would make it
buddies.
a
Yeah.
more interesting character rather than just Hulk smash.
Yeah, I'm definitely down, and I'm curious to what they do with it. So Luke Cage, with our last 10 minutes or so, I'm gonna go ahead and read Mike Colter's quote from Coming Soon. He was asked about Luke Cage. I'm guessing they probably asked because of Harley Cox, but also because the majority of those Netflix shows 2-year I don't want to say hiatus or ban, but 2-year contract limitation on Marvel doing anything with the characters is coming up. The 2 years are ending, starting with Daredevil. Coulter said, quote, "I got to say, hey, I rarely think about it." Luke Cage, that is. In the sense of what could be or will be. I know fans are eager to see something with the character. I know I established him, and it was an honor to do that, but I don't know what the future holds. I'm just in my mode of doing Evil right now. Is that a show? I'm not sure. And a few films on hiatus. COVID sucks. If something happens, I'd love to have a conversation with them, but for now, I'm not holding my breath. I'm happy either way. It was a good run. What do you have to say about that?
First of all, yes, Evil is actually a series that he's
Okay.
working on over at CBS. It's a real shame, man. Like, just because if you're really looking, and I'm gonna throw this at Disney, because they're trying to do this, so pander so much to being like, look how inclusive we are and look how
Yeah.
diverse we are right now. That Luke Cage, you already established him as a character, you already established him as a brand, and they even went as far as, if you remember back in those days when the series came out, wearing the hoodie was a very powerful message
Yes.
that they were sending, and just the fact that that's what he was wearing
Before Black Panther,
right.
this was doing things culturally in the African American neighborhoods, especially up in Harlem, to see their own city on screen, and yeah, definitely with you.
Yeah, so I mean, and it was even to the point where they brought in different celebrities that are very well known in the community. They had Method Man do a
Yeah.
song on there. I mean, how much more do you want to establish the character?
Wasn't it Sway's morning show
Right,
that
yeah.
he went on?
Mhm.
Like they did so much with him. I'm with you. It's heartbreaking. Because I like Luke Cage from the books. I'm not the world's biggest Bendis fan, but he does occasionally put down
Please
some
do
good
not
work.
get me started on Bendis right now. Ooh.
So okay. But on New Avengers back in like 07, 08, Luke was running the team, and he was married to Jessica, and they had just had their baby. And I really just, I think Coulter nailed the character perfectly from the books, and it will be a shame if they don't bring him back, and especially considering we lost Chadwick Boseman. We lost T'Challa, and I know there's great arguments on both sides of whether to. Disney's already made their choice. They're continuing on. T'Challa's gone, according to Feige, which there's valid reasons to do that. But Jammer, myself, had read another guy back when Boseman first passed that was like, T'Challa's bigger than just Boseman, and that character should go on. And I feel with the loss of T'Challa, a familiar name again in the African American superhero community is definitely needed. While yes, Shuri would be great, bringing back Killmonger, have M'Baku take like those are all valid stories to follow, potential paths, but man, Mike Colter got done dirty. Because he was set up to do season 3, and then they just pulled that rug like he had no idea it was coming.
You have to remember too that show was packed with talent. I mean, Cottonmouth was played by Mahershala Ali in the Blade.
Yeah,
he's an Oscar winner. So I mean, just I remember how good I thought that show was. That you already have it set up, and you don't have to, what I like about it, and this is by no means me speaking ill of Black Panther at all.
Yeah,
Black Panther is fantastic,
absolutely,
and because I just one of the things I've always written about, and it was remembering Chadwick Boseman, was remembering how excited the African American community was on premiere night, and me as a Hispanic wanting like, man, when do we get that moment? When do we get that character? And then going through a library of characters and finding out that the closest thing to me that I'm going to have right now is going to be a Miles Morales, and that's still not necessarily close.
Well, I wrote on a rumor a long time ago, and with I think Cam wrote the bar side, or maybe it was Shockey, the bar side buzz. It was Cam on some rumored unannounced MCU projects, and Ghost Rider is mentioned again. And a few months ago, I got to remember her name. Give me one second. Ghost Rider Kyle Malone, LRM should bring it up. Wow. Oh God, what was her name? All these LRMornings episodes. How come that didn't bring it up? Let's see here. I got it. Female, Hispanic Ghost Rider, because I think this is the most Alejandra Jones. She actually she's Mexican. Her father was a really bad guy that trafficked her. She ends up in Nicaragua at one point, eventually makes contact with Johnny Blaze. She ends up actually going and training at the training with Adam, like the Adam, like biblical Adam, right? And she then takes on this Spirit of Vengeance and becomes Ghost Rider. And the best part about it, I didn't care for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I never really watched Robbie Ray's Ghost Rider. It's unfortunate that he didn't get his second shot. But Alejandra Jones rides a motorcycle, and I am hoping they go with her. Such a unique story. Hispanic, like you said, definitely not as not getting as much representation on film as potentially should be, or however you want to politically nicely word things. But what do you think about that? Alejandra Jones, would you not like to see that as Ghost Rider, or would you really like to see Robbie come back, or Johnny?
Oh no, I want Robbie to come back.
You want Robbie? You really liked Diego Luna?
Yeah, Diego Luna as Ghost Rider, I thought was great. I love the jacket. I love the car.
I hate the car.
And
I like the car in real life. I hate it for Ghost Rider.
So I mean, Would I support the the story that you were just telling me? Of course I would.
Yeah.
But you already have somebody who's kind of established, and I
Right.
think was doing a great job. But because it was part of that Loeb era, that's probably why they want to stay away from it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I still think Disney can take. I mean, look, they took Spider-Man, made him great again. Disney, Marvel. Jammer gets mad at me when I say in Feige we trust. It's half tongue in cheek and half legitimate. I mean, when you could get down to it, while yes, there may be MCU Blu-rays sitting on my my shelf that I won't go pull and put in, but if my son or wife does, I'll still watch. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't say there's an MCU film I refuse to watch, and that includes Thor 2, uh, Incredible Hulk, Captain Marvel, which are all to me B minus movies. You know,
Oh, I have
I'll
a
watch them, but I'm not gonna pick it out myself.
I have a few.
Yeah, so maybe we'll get some Luke Cage. That would be great. I hope that Ghost Rider that we do get a Ghost. My dream was a supernatural version, rated R version of the Defenders with Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, Blade. And it sucks that we won't get that because we're getting a PG-13 Blade movie and PG-13 Moon Knight series, and the Ghost Rider's a rumor. We might get the show, but it won't be the nice rated R thing that I was hoping for. So, but anyways, Manny, thank you so much for joining, man. Any last words on Luke Cage or anything that we talked about, man?
Well, after the investors meeting last week, it looks like they really have a concrete plan on the direction they're going.
A lot of stuff.
So, so although we can speculate as much as we want who's not going to be involved, but given the scale of the MCU, including all of these characters now, there's always going to be a possibility for them to return. So it's just because they're not, we don't have an announcement today, doesn't mean we have to be all doom and gloom about it, because it may be one of those things where we'll just be surprised one day.
There you go. And Manny sitting there trying to be the optimist and give us all a little bit of a pep talk to help us ease into the workday as we round third base and head for home on the weekends. You guys out there, thank you so much for listening. Check out LRMonline.com every single day for all of your entertainment news, needs, and opinions. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Lots of great content goes up there every day. Celebrity interviews out the ass. Manny is busy. Gig is busy. Nancy's busy. And you guys are missing out on A-class celebrities. Like we just had John Hamm on LRM for an exclusive interview. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, because also the podcasts are going up there. And speaking of podcasts, wherever you get podcasts from Spotify to Google and everything in between, the LRM Online Podcast Network has great shows like Breaking Geek Radio, the podcast, of course, LRMornings, and the Cantina, which Mandalorian is finishing up, but don't worry, the Cantina will continue on. And Manny and I have something special we're recording tonight with my wife, which will hit tomorrow. Manny, why don't you plug what we're going to talk about tonight for the audience tomorrow?
We're going to go ahead and start giving everybody virtual karate lessons. No, we are going to go ahead and recap seasons 1 through 3. That's right, 3.
2. Oh, yeah. I got what you're saying. Go.
Recap Cobra Kai season 1, 2, 3. Obviously, beginning with 1, then 2, and then as 3 comes out, we'll go ahead and talk about them. Talk about the nostalgia, talk about what we like about the new series, and what we wish was a little different, maybe.
Yeah.
So
maybe. There we go. All right. So you guys look forward to that going forward. I hope to get those Cobra Kai things up on Thursday because Friday's really busy already with Cantina and Breaking Geek Radio, but we'll do what we can. But I'm super excited to talk about it later on tonight because Christine and I just finished 2 days ago rewatching seasons 1 and 2, so super stoked. Manny, where can people find you at online?
On Twitter, you can find me at LRM_Emmanuel, EMMANUEL. And then on Instagram, you can find me at riddlemethis_510.
There you guys go. You guys can find me at that Kyle Malone on Twitter. Thank you so much for listening. We will talk to you tomorrow.